This is the second video when we're talking about exponents for IB. They ask us to write as a power of 2. So on a lot of these problems here, I'm going to do part A and then let you do part B. Except on this one, there's a mistake, and remind me. You're not here to remind me. I'll hopefully remember to correct that for you. Okay, so the first one here, if I have, they're saying write it as a power of 2. If I have 8 times 4 to the n, well, 8 is 2 to the third. 4 is 2 squared. So this is 2 to the third times 2 to the 2n. Since the bases are the same, I can add the exponents, and this is 2 to the 2n plus 3. Okay, try the next one. It's very similar. The next one here, I was telling my first period that what people do more often than not is they forget, this is raised to the third power, they forget to cube the 2. They'll get all the rest of it correct. And so as I think through this, well, first of all, I can deal with this and that negative right here. So this becomes a negative 2a cubed. The b moves to the bottom as b to the fourth. And the c now will move to the top. There's already one there. We're moving 2 more, so that's to the third. And now everybody gets raised to the third power. A negative cubed is still negative. 2 cubed is 8. This is a to the 9th, c to the 9th over b to the 12th. My prediction is if you're going to mess this up, if you're going to miss it, you're going to have all of this part correct, because that's not too terrible, but you're going to forget to raise 2 to the third power. But don't do that. But that's my guess. That's my cautionary tale. Be careful with that one. Okay, the next one, simplify without a calculator. This I had intended to be 16 over, so this is supposed to be 16 over 625 is equal to, I am not talking well this morning. 16 over 625 to the 3/4 power. So try that one for B. For A, it was 27 to the negative 2/3. You can't see what I wrote. This is 3 to the third to the negative 2/3. Well, power to a power, this becomes 3 to the negative 2. This becomes 1 over 9. Okay, continuing on. They say expand and simplify. On this one, it's a little gross. I'm going to write it down and move it out of the way. X to the, you can't see what I'm doing. X to the negative 1/2 times x to the 3/2 plus 2x to the 1/2 minus 3x to the negative 1/2. Okay, so that's this problem. I'm going to distribute through. And so since I have the same base, I'm going to add the exponents. 3/2 minus 1/2 is just 1. Here, the 2 stays the same, but a negative 1/2 and a positive 1/2, that cancels out, giving me x to the 0. You obviously don't have to write that, but I'm just showing you everything in this first step. Minus 3 times a negative 1/2 and a negative 1/2 gives me a negative 1. And so I have x plus 2 minus, and this is 3 over x. I would say in a problem like this, we don't want any negative exponents, if we can avoid those. There will be times when they'll say, like, your final answer should be in the form of 2 to the k. Well, if your final answer is in the form 2 to the k might have to be negative. So I'm not going to have a hard and fast, no negative exponents ever sort of a rule. But in something like this, I would prefer that you clean it up and give me all positive exponents. Okay, the next one, I want to do 4b with you, which says something like 2 to the x plus 3 times 2 to the x plus 1. Okay, option 1 is just to distribute as we have it and see what we've got. So this is 2 to the x times 2 to the x, which gives you 2 to the x squared. And then I have 1 2 to the x. And then I have 3 times 2 to the x. And then I have plus 3. Well, here's 1 2 to the x, and here's 3 more 2 to the x's. So 3 plus 1 gives me a total of 4. So this is 2 to the x squared plus 4 times 2 to the x plus 3. Now I could see stopping here. I could also recognize that this is 2 squared to the x plus, well, 2 squared to the 2x plus 3. It could be that we stop at 2 to the 2x plus 2 to the x plus 2 plus 3. This one, it's unclear as to where you have to stop. This is fine, this is fine. You could write this as 4 to the x plus 4 times 2 to the x plus 3. I mean, you've got some different choices. The point being, what's more likely to happen is that I'm going to start you here, or I'm going to start you here and expect you to come back to where we started. Option 2 on this problem is to let a new variable equal 2 to the x. Okay, so I like to use u, and you'll see that a lot in calculus. So let u, not me, but u equal 2 to the x. I think I'm hilarious. And so I'm going to rewrite that original problem as u plus 3 times u plus 1, and now I know how to FOIL. 3u plus 1u is 4u plus 3. I can't leave it here, so I have this 2 to the x squared plus 4 times 2 to the x plus 3. That was one of these places. I could keep going, I could stop. We're moving on. I will do a third video for the problems on the back.